In the early 1600s, Britain began to establish its presence in the New World. The Virginia Company, chartered by King James of the Vase in 1606, led to the founding of Jamestown in 1607, the first permanent English settlement in North America. This marked the beginning of British colonization in America, driven by the pursuit of wealth, resources, and new trade routes. The Pilgrims, seeking religious freedom, founded Plymouth Colony in 1620. These early colonies faced harsh conditions, but over time they began to prosper, laying the foundation for future British colonies along the Atlantic coast. The 18th century saw significant expansion and development in both Britain and its American colonies. The British Empire grew in wealth and power, establishing itself as a dominant global force. In America, the colonies expanded westward, increasing their economic output through agriculture, trade, and the use of enslaved labor, particularly in the southern colonies. However, tensions began to rise between Britain and its colonies. The British government's attempts to exert more control and impose taxes, such as the Stamp Act of 1765 and the Townshend Acts of 1767, met with fierce resistance from colonists who felt their rights were being violated. This period of growing unrest set the stage for the American Revolution. The American Revolution began in 1775, driven by colonial resistance to British rule. Key events included the battles of Lexington and Concord, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the significant military campaigns led by figures such as George Washington. The revolution culminated in the Treaty of Paris in 1783, where Britain recognized the independence of the United States. This victory had profound implications, not only establishing a new nation, but also inspiring other colonial movements worldwide. Following independence, the United States faced the challenge of building a stable government. The Constitution, ratified in 1788, provided a framework for federal governance and has remained a cornerstone of American political life. Meanwhile, Britain underwent its own transformation during the Industrial Revolution. Starting in the late 18th century, technological innovations such as the steam engine, spinning jenny, and power loom revolutionized manufacturing, transportation, and communication. This period saw rapid urbanization, economic growth, and significant social changes. The United States grappled with internal divisions over issues such as slavery and states' rights, leading to the Civil War from 1861 to 1865. The war ended with the Union's victory and the abolition of slavery, but it left deep scars and challenges in its aftermath. In Britain, the Victorian era, 1837-1901, marked a time of great cultural, scientific, and industrial progress. Queen Victoria's reign saw the expansion of the British Empire to its zenith, with colonies and territories spanning the globe. The period was characterized by advancements in science, such as Darwin's theory of evolution, and significant social reforms addressing labor conditions and education. At the turn of the century, both Britain and the United States were emerging as modern nations. The US experienced rapid industrial growth and became increasingly influential on the global stage. Social and political reforms, such as the Progressive Movement, sought to address issues of corruption, workers' rights, and women's suffrage. Britain continued to be a dominant imperial power, but the early 20th century also saw rising tensions in Europe. These culminated in the outbreak of World War I in 1914, a conflict that would profoundly impact both Britain and America, shaping their roles in the 20th century. Between 1600 and 1914, Britain and America experienced profound changes that shaped their trajectories. Britain's initial colonization efforts in America laid the groundwork for a new nation, while the American Revolution and subsequent independence marked a significant shift in global power dynamics. Both nations underwent industrialization, which brought economic growth and societal changes, and faced conflicts that tested their resilience and capacity for reform. This period set the stage for the modern world, highlighting the interplay of exploration, conflict, innovation, and transformation that define the histories of Britain and America.